Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yeah.
Hey, it's Gabba the Game Night here, and I'm back playing some more Phoenix Wright Stone and Visi, and it's February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Cole offices. He is playing, by the way.
I'm so sorry, Miss Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Yep, we all remember.
Yeah, it was late last episode.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming, even though it was literally listed in the court filings.
It's a lot of files. Wow, do you want to see my Tony's bear?
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked Mr. Marshall down and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident.
So I just stood in an empty courtroom, apparently.
I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence and make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. And that must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma.
But there's something puzzling.
There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened in the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detectives in the questioning room are right across from... Because the detectives' offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
So everyone who was a detective on that case is no longer a detective.
Lana used to be a detective. And never mind going to law school or anything. They just make her a prosecutor. I'd better have another talk with her.
Okay, bye, Emma.
God damn it, that means I have to do her voice. I'm terrible at her voice.
You're gonna do her voice a lot more. She's the main, suspect.
Well, Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Can't you just tell me? Do I really have to do this?
Now I gotta click the talk option.
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before in the 2 days that I've known her. It's true, I was a member of the police force for 2 years, or 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? Yeah, that's what I meant. I think I said Grant, but whatever. He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Fuck's sake! You don't have to think it, Phoenix. Just either do it or just let me click the damn button. Talk about hand-holding. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command. That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us.
It makes sense. It was her office.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So we waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. You do. To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of the case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder.
Alright, time to break in. Emma, you got the crowbar? We're committing crime. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Did I go to the wrong place?
I don't know. February 24th, Police Department entrance. Oh, hi.
Howdy, Bambino.
Apparently we passed by you at the entrance.
Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambino? I should have known my luck and run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus.
So you're in custody? You did commit like 5 crimes.
Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation.
Ah.
It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why the prospectors head west. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
Now we will have to press the talk button.
Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Seems like everything bad happens when a prosecutor gets that.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
Scars.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. They look like villains from a Pokemon anime. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, I think somebody else said that. But oh well. Not in my canon. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambino.
And thus he fades away, never be seen again. Right now, do we go into... Okay, February 24th, police in criminal affairs department.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, wait. I don't even remember how I did this guy's voice.
I don't know, you do them different every time.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word you should use for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Shut the fuck up, Emma. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. God damn it, Emma. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
You can't go in there. Okay, let's break in there.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. I think I read something wrong there, but oh well.
No, why not? That, oh my god. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Who is he, the Phantom of the Opera?
Who's playing it?
Where the fuck am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten.
Who the fuck takes organ lessons in kindergarten?
They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was.
Huh? There's someone playing my organ.
Oh, that was a pretty weak for Gant.
Keep your goddamn hands off my organ, motherfucker. Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, Whiteo, have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And not his provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. I'm looking over here. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neal, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Yeah, I see a couple things that aren't right with that picture. Like, I think we have that vase in our evidence, and I think Edgeworth's shield is missing that sword.
Yes. Both of the things are true. Franks pulls out a camera. Oh, his phone. I don't know, do phones have cameras at
Not only that, but was Lana just holding a knife?
No, that was the statue.
Oh.
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. That's
Yeah, I see.
I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
No. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
looks like we aren't welcome.
Emma, you got the crowbar?
It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Emma, I have this comically large stepladder. We'll climb up to the floor and go through the window. Yeah.
Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
I'm in the meeting.
I'm sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
No.
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. Had falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes.
Yo, you got a crowbar?
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, flashback. But as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? Because I kind of like him. In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back on that. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him.
Though a lot of people do call you Dick.
Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
Tell us about the Slanine incident.
Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee
file.
was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean, when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never failed
Thanks,
to impress.
Gumshoe.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Jesus Christ, this game wants to hold your hand.
Only sometimes, though. Other times, it will not. You won't present. You're on court record.
What?
You're on court record, not present. No, not that murder weapon.
Oh, sorry.
The Slanine murder weapon.
Yeah, my bad. This didn't really happen. There we go.
Slanine.
About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it, the label SL9 instance on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
I guess we're gonna go back to talking.
This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive.
Oof. Yeah, now we know more about the knife.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then, when he was burying the bodies, a jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Goddamn.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So, he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. A.K.A. Emma.
Oof.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Anyway, do you have a quill ball?
Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
Don't we still have Goodman's ID?
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either.
Dang
The
it.
data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So, in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
Okay, steal Gumshoe's ID card.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
I'm on a picture.
That's what I was thinking. Wait. Maybe.
Yeah, oh.
No, you told me no every fucking time.
Well, that's when we're in court. We're out of court, there's no harm.
Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut. Okay, that wasn't it.
Okay, fine, I'll turn his badge.
About that jar, I think I've seen it before somewhere.
Yes, in that picture I just showed you.
Somewhere. Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant. Where could I have seen that before? Now do I show him the picture?
photo! Oh my god. I fucking hate this game.
Okay, what else am I supposed to show him?
I don't know. Your turn his badge. Hey, I'm not just a civilian, I'm an attorney. Or the... I don't know. There's a potential million things. Potential million. We don't have a lot that relates to Gant's office.
I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. You think people are accusing him of injustice? I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal what was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark's guilty.
Just keep showing him shit. Show him everything you got.
can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Show him the badge. Show him.
Oh my God! He's not gonna let me in based on the badge.
How do you know?
Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge.
Oh my God.
Enough said. I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice.
Yeah, I got no clue.
Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Yeah, I've just been lugging around with me. I've got this bag like Link from The Legend of Zelda. I just fucking carry everything around.
Yeah.
You at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of
course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Okay, congratulations, Dick. I was wondering, why is the award a
I
shield?
think we may have seen this dialogue.
And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Okay, well,
And look at the blue badger.
This guy almost made us lose our case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit he's right, though. Thanks to the blue badge, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m.
I mean, we can't talk to him anymore, I don't think. Yeah, what did we present to him? That tells him, hey, let us in that room. We have reason. I don't know. Can I talk about how Edgeworth or something? Like, hey, Edgeworth.
I can't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to present something.
No lie. I think we know that.
Nothing.
Do I need to go get something?
Maybe?
Like some lunch from Angel Star?
Maybe.
Oh, a lost item report, huh? Very impressive, Detective. You knew what it was right off the bat. Well, I'm a master of misplacement, you know. That has such a cool ring to it. The way I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here. Wow, a higher power. Maybe I shouldn't let him hold any evidence. Hey, that powder shoe's for detecting fingerprints. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth gave it to us. He did what? All I have is some flour. Are you okay, Detective? Quick, run! That was my sneeze, that's all you're getting.
Jesus sneeze on us.
If it's any help, one time I took a nap on a bench with wet paint. Why am I not comforted?
Maybe we do gotta go get something from the prosecutor's office. I mean, we can still go there, so maybe there's something there.
Someone with an executive office number. That's 17 to me, Detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. Okay.
To the prosecutor's office.
Oops.
Oh, hi.
Bye.
Wait, no, they only got
Bye. Bye.
No one here. Bye. February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot.
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in that evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
Okay, can we go, we can go to Edgeworth's room. Edgeworth, let us in! February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202.
1202? I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! Looks like he's writing something.
And then Sonic the Hedgehog leaned in. What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor.
Don't look at that!
Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Wanna look at my attorney's badge? There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do will erase that fact. I know, shut up.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean that the evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility is the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First lie is Steele's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence seems too short. Most lists want twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seemed strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered.
Murdered?
You were participating in a ceremony. Sorry. You were ceremony of the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony, unless you're Mr. Beast. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
Or Marlon Brando. You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right. Should I show him the picture?
Maybe.
I already mentioned it. Look at this photograph.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes.
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
That's it?
You have to go to talk to ask me more.
Oh my god!
This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? I have.
Me? Sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for the kid's sake?
Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant.
That's sussy. He's a sussy baka. Now can we go show the trophy to Gumshoe? You go say, hey, Chief Gant took away my knife.
I guess.
And he'll be like, oh, okay, you can go in. Bye. Oh, it's someone, Hannah. Hi, you got
Excuse
lunch?
me. Would either of you care for the quarter pound of roast beef?
Why do you have a quarter pound of roast beef?
Miss Sar, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Jesus Christ. No, I'm not saying he was the first. I'm just saying I can't really use that line of dialogue.
I'm joking now.
And that's what they left out of the Bible with the story of Jesus sucking on a cow's tit. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone involved in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little thing I happened to witness? The instant line stabbed Detective Goodman with the knife. Yes. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Mr. R's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago.
Hey, you want to tell us some stuff?
Oh, God, she does. Joe Drake, Joe Dark, whatever. That's a name I'll not soon forget. Even though I just
forgot
did.
to do a little bit.
Wait, there were 2 Joes? We chilled him for half a year, all the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than when I was then. Those days were steaming in a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. Because of his brother's death. They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Sky. My sister? The best of the best were put onto the SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo, Lana and Chief Gant. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation, was Lana second in command. They was the best. Am I starting to go more German than French?
I don't know.
I feel like the accent is slipping.
Potentially.
They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Yeah, I think you're doing a little bit German.
I feel like I was doing better there. Incredible evidence. You mean? Oui. There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forced evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Alana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh, oui. Myself included. Moi included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
Now tell us about the case some more.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found were suddenly appearing, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. I always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Oui, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create a fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
Alright, but we'll go investigate the office next time. But for now, thanks for watching this episode of Gabba Game Night. Like, subscribe, go to our face, multiple names.
Am I French or German? Who knows? Who cares?
Good night.
Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yay. Come on and watch him play. Games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.